Hey, heat. What heat? Help me. Heat, 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 heat. This sequence sounds like a digital artifact, a voice synthesizer catching on a broken line of code, or a malfunctioning AI repeating a prompt. These 14 words form a sequential timeline of human biological collapse under extreme thermal stress. Beyond a range of normal weather, heat acts as an aggressive physical force that systematically dismantles human biology. Using the transcript as a structural roadmap allows us to map the precise progression from healthy function to thermodynamic death in 4 distinct stages. Stage 1, hey heat, marks the moment the body recognizes an external thermal threat and attempts to adapt. To cool down, the body triggers vasodilation. This process reroutes hot blood from the core toward the widened vessels near the skin surface. Simultaneously, the sweat glands activate. They flood the skin with fluid for evaporative cooling, drawing thermal energy away from the bloodstream. If the core temperature surpasses 104 degrees Fahrenheit, we enter stage 2, what heat. To prevent fatal dehydration, the body shuts down the sweat glands entirely. Without sweat, the internal temperature spikes, triggering protein denaturation. This is the point where the complex folded structures of proteins in the brain absorb too much energy and physically lose their shape. This structural breakdown destroys the victim's cognitive ability to process reality. They lose the capacity to recognize they are dying, resulting in the literal denial of the surrounding conditions. Stage 3, help me, represents a fleeting moment of lucidity, where the nervous system registers that its primary defenses have failed. The circulatory system buckles. Blood vessels remain dilated, but fluid volume is low, causing blood pressure to plummet. The heart pumps frantically to compensate. Without sufficient pressure, critical organs like the kidneys and liver are starved of oxygen and enter severe distress. This distress leads to increased cellular permeability. Permeability is a measure of how easily substances pass through a cell wall. Under extreme heat, these walls become dangerously porous. Toxins normally contained within the organs leak through these porous membranes directly into the primary bloodstream. This combination of crashing blood pressure and internal toxicity pushes the system past the point of recovery. The body enters irreversible systemic panic. The final stage, heat, 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 signals the total breakdown of the central nervous system. The body has reached thermal runaway. This is the threshold where the biological system generates more heat through its own frantic metabolic processes than it can possibly dissipate. Crossing this threshold causes the brain's electrical signals to misfire, manifesting as violent physical seizures. The system is now a failing machine caught in a fatal error loop. At this stage, all biological complexity is destroyed. Only a repetitive, catastrophic feedback loop remains, driven entirely by the heat. Return to these 14 words. With the biological context established, the transcript reveals itself as a medical chart of human mortality. As global temperatures rise, these physical limits will be tested on a mass scale. Understanding the specific timeline of physiological failure is a fundamental requirement for survival in a warming environment. When the human system is pushed past its thermodynamic limit, all humanity, thought, and nuance are stripped away. What remains is only the reality of the heat.